welcome to this short presentation. My name is Jonathan.
I'm Jean Marie Russo.
And we would say welcome, but actually today we're going to say aloha.
Aloha.
Welcome, come share my space, come share my breath, because we want to talk to you tonight about a pivotal event that we feel really, really strongly about that is going to be coming up in October 2023 in beautiful Hawaii. Jean Marie, you've just spent several weeks in sunny Hawaii, have you not? How was it?
I have in Kona, Hawaii is where the event will be, Jonathan, October 22nd through the 29th. And I have experienced such a phenomenal opportunity. And I just want everyone to feel and experience and understand what I experienced and while I was there and what I learned more than anything, the culture, just beyond belief, and the history, oh my word. People are going to be just amazed by it, truly.
It is everything that you hear, and when you first land on any of the islands, you just feel it. You often hear Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talking about the mana, the energy, the chi in China or the ki in Japan. And you absolutely feel it. I was fortunate enough to go over there for a few years, every 6 months, did a lot of training there, was shown some very, very high level esoteric and metaphysical healing stuff. The reason this pale Scottish white guy is wearing a Hawaiian shirt is because I bought this in Hawaii. This is the real deal. This is a kukui nut lei that was made for me by a Hawaiian kahuna, a Hawaiian shaman, and blessed. Therefore, I'm wearing it. Jean Marie, you've got one as well. Tell us a story.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. So the location, Jonathan, is very, very special where we're going in Kona. It is the King Kamehameha Courtyard Marriott, and it is the sacred grounds of King Kamehameha. Well, when I arrived at the Marriott, I was given by Hana, the wonderful, wonderful family, Ohana, and you can explain that in a moment, of the Marriott Courtyard. So I received this as a gift. And it is a special lei, and I hope I pronounce the shells correctly. This is, they're called, I think, Pele.
Yeah.
Pele shells. And what's special, and I hope you can see them here, they have a little hole in them. So they're very tiny, but they're stringed, if you will, that they have the ability to just be connected like a crochet, if you will. My mother used to crochet pearls like this, so this had so much meaning for me. And I asked the craftsmen of the women who do this, and the people, I shouldn't say just women, the Hawaiian natives who do this. It is time consuming, very, very much so, and labor intensive, where it used to be these shells were very, very abundant, but not anymore. And so they have to wait until there's a storm, a major storm that washes these shells on to the sand and the surface. And the woman that I spoke with, she was wonderful. She was knowledgeable, and she had in the lobby of the courtyard, she had her display of all the different pearls, and we were talking about that, and she shared with me that she has a source for these, and she has to call, and she'll say, is there any of these pele's? And they'll tell her, the next storm, you're on our list. We'll have to call you and we'll let you know. And it may be 2 weeks. They don't know. It may be 2 weeks. It may be 3. It may be in a few days, but she'll get a call And sure enough, they will put some aside for her and that. And so it truly is not a dying art, but they have to be very cautious on the ability to obtain these shells. So that was special. And the other leaves are the paluma flowers. Which are just beautiful, and they use different Hawaiian flowers, the orchids or the palumas, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, I remember buying an aftershave in Hawaii, and I can still smell it. It's long used up, long ago.
Yeah. I'm
I
sure.
can still absolutely smell it. You know, it's unique, and it's a special place. And the reason we are going on at length about the Hawaiian culture and the Hawaiian people and the location is because we're going to be getting a whole bunch of people together in October at an event in Hawaii. And so the purpose of this little presentation tonight is to take you through what we're going to be doing, hopefully to encourage you to at least take a look at it. There's something in here for business. There's something in here for the mental health. There's something in here for mind, body, spirit, something in here for everybody. And we very much believe in balance. And so we're covering all the bases. We're bringing a whole bunch of world leading experts in their fields into one place for a week. And we'd like to talk you through that today. It's called the Entrepreneur's Accelerator. And it's a summit. It's not a workshop. It's not a seminar. It's a complete pivotal event. And we think it's going to be pivotal for everybody. So let's tell you why. The promise of the whole summit is to be able to create a 5-hour work week, to take whatever number of hours you're working in a week right now and shrink it down to a 5-hour work week, to live longer and healthier, and ultimately to retire early without risking your income, without risking your health, without risking your family, without risking burnout, and all the things that we see entrepreneurs and business owners suffering from all the time. So that's the promise. What we're going to talk about is the fact that it's not work-life balance. That's a phrase you hear bandied about all the time. I would suggest it's actually the other way around. It is life-work balance. Right? We work to earn income that we want to finance our lifestyle. So it's actually about the life first. And the question I'd have for you is, your business running you, or are you running your business? If you can't take time away from it and it's still makes money, then that's not a business, that's a job. So
that's right.
Right? We're looking to help people be freed from that trap and to actually have the business run for you. And also on a minimum number of hours per week. And we'll talk a little bit about our own personal journeys for that. So who's this for? This is for entrepreneurs and business owners who ultimately want more time freedom, that elusive promise that you hear mentioned all the time. Can it be done? Yes, it can. We want to help you accelerate your success. We want to help you get to where you want to get to. Success by your definition, whatever that is for you. We want to help you get to there faster and sooner. All right. Probably, though, by changing your approach. We're going to invite you to look at different ways of doing things, other mindsets, other strategies, and also other technologies. I'm sure you're aware that technology is advancing really quickly. And so there are ways where you can compress months into hours. This is not for know-alls. I don't know about you, Jim Marie, but I'm not a know-it-all. I don't think I'm a know-it-all, but I am a learn-it-all. I do want to learn.
Oh, I love that.
I want to learn as much as possible. Yeah. Entrepreneurs need to learn.
Truly. And you have to be open to it and recognize that we are learning every single day, Jonathan. You have to have something that you can learn every single day that makes us even more of a whole person, if you will.
Well, I think we've all had a very steep learning curve over the last 3 or 4 years where we had to think on our feet. We had to adapt. We have to use that pivot word that everybody was using. We had to move quickly. And one of the advantages of being a business owner or entrepreneur is that we're like a jet ski compared to a super tanker. The super tanker's got to stop the engines 5 miles out so that it stops in time when it gets to the pier. It takes a long time to turn in a big circle. Trying to change the course of a super tanker is a huge deal. We can change on a dime. We can pivot very, very quickly. We can dump a product, launch a new product the same day. And being able to adapt to your circumstances, I think, is really important. So if you think you know it all and there's nothing that we can possibly teach you, then this probably isn't the place to be. But
Correct.
if you, as Zig Ziglar once said, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And if the door is slightly open, then there's some stuff we'd like to share with you. That is an embarrassing picture of the palest guy on the island. That was me dressed in traditional Hawaiian garb, which I made myself. We were encouraged to make it ourselves. Learning the hula. We were taught the hula by one of the 4 remaining hula teachers on the planet Earth, which was an honor.
Wow.
And then we got to perform for the tourists. I got to visit Hawaii over 5 different journeys over a number of years, and spent a lot of time being taught some pretty advanced alternative and complementary techniques, particularly Hawaiian huna, by some lineage bloodline Hawaiian instructors. I figured if I'm going to learn huna, I have to go to the source. I'm also an NLP trainer, and I've been a business coach for 26 years. And so I was fascinated that all of my teachers all practice some kind of esoteric or metaphysical approach. You listen to every personal development guru out there, whether it's Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Ben Bashard, Brandon Bays. You listen to any of these guys, they talk about their spiritual beliefs. They talk about a spiritual aspect, but they normally keep it separate. So they'll teach their normal personal development stuff, and then they have the kind of spiritual stuff separately. And I always found that interesting, because I don't think it's a dichotomy. I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a range. I think it's a spectrum. I think we start off with positive mental attitude. Then we get into the heavy, meaty stuff, whether that's CBT or Reiki or whatever we do. And then we come out the other side and start looking at more of the spiritual aspects, especially in our 40s and 50s. We start to think, is this all there is to it? There has to be more to life than this. So I went to Hawaii, ultimately got married on the beach. So it's a very, very special place in my heart. Jim Marie, tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes, my background has been one in the pharmaceutical industry, in the global corporate world. And I really, really feel connected as an entrepreneur because I've had the blessings of learning the various areas of the business, which is wonderful. But it is so very, very different. I was in the corporate world, global, like I said, pharmaceutical industry for approximately 25 plus years. I don't want to give it away too much, but 25 plus years, and had the opportunity to take early retirement. I had cared for both of my parents for 20 years of those years. And after my parents passed, my mother passed last in 2018, I decided to take early retirement in 2019 and begin as an entrepreneur and start to have a life. The first day of my entrepreneurship, when I left my employment, retiring, I received a non-compete clause. And so I could not do what I was going to set out to do. My business was all set to go, but I couldn't do it. And I needed to pivot immediately. And that was, at the time, I just kept going, persevered, and thought to myself, what was it that I enjoyed about meeting and event planning? I did a lot of global meeting and events, and I loved it so much. And I wanted to continue on in retirement with it because to me, it was not work. I called them my mini weddings. And it was the people I found. I did an introspective search inside without even recognizing the analysis that I was doing, but found that the speakers were truly the success of the event. And it was that important. Well, fast forward, within 3-4 months or so, COVID began to hit. And so everything stopped with the events and the speaking. So I did another pivot. And I went to each of my speakers, Jonathan, to find out what was important to them, what was their platform. And that exercise was so good. I got to know my people more. And to connect that with Hawaii, what we are here in my business, I feel my corporation, my people are an extending of my family. And in Hawaii, the word for family is ohana. And Jonathan, what that means is nobody left behind.
Yeah.
And that is so powerful. And I truly mean that. I went to each of my people and I did the best I could, asking what it was that they needed. How could I help them? And so I quickly began to know that we needed multiple sources of income as an entrepreneur. One source is not sufficient. When you branch out, if you are just starting out as an entrepreneur, recognize that you will need, and it's to your benefit, to have multiple sources of income. And Jonathan is the man to talk to about that. He has an excellent program. But to my background truly is in the corporate world, learning to pivot, became an entrepreneur. And with my speakers bureau, I just feel in my heart of hearts, these people are experts. These people are bar none global influencers. They are not just speakers. They are international best-selling authors. Some of them they have awards beyond comprehension. But first and foremost, they have passion. Their heart is truly in the business, in what they are doing. And I feel that it is an honor and a privilege to work with them, to know them, to elevate them, and to elevate their business.
So if we take the combined experiences of all the guys that we're going to be bringing together, we have hundreds of years of business experience.
Truly.
Right? And what we want to do is distill the absolute best golden nuggets and help you reduce the amount of time you spend grafting and striving and efforting, and keep your mind and keep your body healthy so that you can hit your goals quicker, which means you can retire sooner and you can enjoy a wealthy retirement afterwards. That's the ultimate goal that we're trying to share here. So you imagine spending 7 days in a luxury location with up to 30 business leaders who have decades of experience between them. That's actually the view from the hotel, by the way. So where we're going to be staying, that's what we're looking at.
I took that picture.
You've been there. You've walked every mile of that. Absolutely.
Yes.
For example, that's the temple in the water there, where the Marriott team actually have a monthly blessing, for the profits and the goodwill of the company. So that's how seriously they take this. They're living in accordance with the seasons, living in accordance with the land. Hawaii, interestingly, doesn't have enough flora and fauna to support the population. It never has. There's just not been enough food and raw materials to sustain the population. Yet it always did. It always thrived. It's really, really interesting. It is a magical place. So we're going to bring all these guys together, share inspiring stories of successful entrepreneurs and their journeys that they've been on, pulling out the best little gems that we possibly can. I've been quite hard on the speakers, and I'm saying, look, I don't want you just to fill an hour. I don't want you just to trot out the usual talk that you trot out. I want to hear you deliver the most profound, impactful, punchy stuff that you can bring to the table so that everyone in that room is blown away every time you hear somebody. That's what I want. Best practices, shortcuts. We're going to be talking artificial intelligence. We're going to be doing facilitated networking. Think of the contacts that these guys have. Think of the amount of influence that these guys have. We're going to be putting you all in a room with them. That's the plan. How to create a 5-hour work week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 5-hour work week.
Absolutely.
Live long, retire early without risking anything. Because I'm a big fan of security. I like security. Now, if you've hired a mentor or a coach, or you're continually trying to find trustworthy sources of information, all the while trying to maintain your mindset and keep a positive outlook, balancing your relationships, your family, your money, your health. Maybe you've applied for funding and got knocked back by the government or whoever. You're looking for a supportive community. You're looking for a supportive network. I don't know if you've noticed the shift, but there is very much a shift of, rather than dog eat dog and every man for themselves, there's a lot more collaboration, a lot more joint venturing happening, a lot more alliances happening. Struggling to balance your love of what you do and not giving it away for free and be able to monetize it, and ideally monetize it in multiple different ways. Even having a job nowadays is not financially secure because household name companies can disappear overnight, right? So multiple streams of income, as Jean Moody said. The Entrepreneurs Accelerator Summit, we want to compress all of this into 7 days. And it's going to be in Kona, Hawaii, Big Island, October 22nd to 29th.